The Old Deluder Act of 1647 is a cornerstone of American education. Passed in colonial Massachusetts, it established a framework for public schooling. The Act's name reveals its deep religious roots. The Puritans believed that education was essential to combat Satan's influence. They feared that ignorance would lead people away from God. Reading, especially of the Bible, was paramount. It allowed individuals to understand Scripture and resist temptation. The Puritans viewed education as a civic duty. A literate populace was essential for a thriving society. Informed citizens could participate in religious and civic life. They could also govern themselves wisely. The Old Deluder Act reflected this belief in the power of education. It aimed to create a community grounded in faith and knowledge. This vision continues to shape American education, though its religious overtones have faded. The Act emerged from a specific historical context. The Puritans were a deeply religious group. They sought to create a society that reflected their beliefs. Education was central to this goal. By ensuring that everyone could read the Bible, they hoped to create a moral and devout community. The Act's legacy is complex. It laid the groundwork for public education. However, it also intertwined education with religious instruction. The Old Deluder Act had a profound impact on American identity. It established a belief in universal literacy. It also linked education to civic virtue. These ideas remain central to American values. Today we debate the best ways to achieve these goals. However, the Act's influence is undeniable. It helped to shape a nation where education is valued as a public good. The Old Deluder Act was more than just a lofty ideal. It established concrete requirements for education. Towns with 50 households or more had to hire a teacher. This teacher instructed children in reading and writing. Larger towns with 100 households had a further obligation. They were required to establish a grammar school. These schools provided a more advanced education. They prepared students for leadership roles in the church and government. The Act's structure reflected a belief in local control. Towns were responsible for funding and overseeing their schools. This approach empowered communities to shape their own educational systems. It also ensured that schools were tailored to local needs. This emphasis on local control remains a hallmark of American education. The Act's requirements were ambitious for the time. Many communities struggled to meet them. However, the Act established an important precedent. It made education a shared responsibility. This idea paved the way for future expansions of public schooling. The Old Deluder Act's influence extends far beyond its specific provisions. Its principles have resonated throughout American history. One key principle is the importance of universal literacy. The Act recognized that education was essential for all members of society. This belief helped to fuel the movement for free public schools in the 19th century. Another enduring principle is the link between education and civic virtue. The Puritans believed that educated citizens were better equipped to participate in democracy. This idea remains central to American thought. We see it reflected in our emphasis on civic education and community involvement. The Act's emphasis on local control also continues to shape our education system. While the federal government plays a larger role today, local school boards still have significant authority. This decentralized structure allows for flexibility and innovation. It also reflects the value placed on community involvement in education. The Old Deluder Act's legacy is evident in modern education reforms, the No Child Left Behind Act of 2001, for example, shares some striking similarities with its predecessor. Both acts aim to improve educational outcomes for all students. They also emphasized accountability and standardized testing. However, there are also key differences between the two acts. No Child Left Behind was a federal law, while the Old Deluder Act was a local ordinance. No Child Left Behind also placed a greater emphasis on standardized testing and data-driven decision-making. Despite these differences, both acts reflect a belief in the transformative power of education. They also highlight the government's role in ensuring that all students have access to quality education. The Old Deluder Act's legacy is complex and multifaceted. It is a reminder of the religious roots of American education. It also highlights the enduring importance of literacy, civic virtue, and local control. As we continue to grapple with the challenges facing our education system, the Act's principles offer valuable insights and guidance.